Hey guys, we are now live. We have Nodar, former founder of DeFiZap, now co-founder of Zapper. I will let him take it from here. And also, can you confirm in the chat that you can hear us?
Hey, everyone is good, I'm assuming.
Yep, they're good. You can go full screen now.
Nice. Welcome everyone, and pleasure to be here. This is turning out like a great virtual conference. So happy to chime in. So yeah, some exciting news today. We joined forces with DeFiZap to make Zapper. It's going to be the ultimate hub for all things DeFi. It was a natural fit with DeFiZap. It's something that DeFiZap was missing. So anyone who zapped in and used DeFiZap, the first thing that they would always ask would be, "What's happening with my money?" So they were looking to monitor their assets and liabilities in a holistic experience, and this is exactly what DeFiZap provides. And us joining forces will help us move much faster, and at the same time just keep expanding the entire space of DeFi. So as I mentioned, now it's a holistic experience through one interface, which is Zapper.fi. To tell you guys quickly about like where we came from, originally we started with education first. So back in August last summer, it was when I actually published the very first DeFi tutorial. Um, and, it's like one thing led to another. People were really liking it, leaving a lot of feedback. And within a month, I built another thing called DeFi Strategies, which was a really simple trading simulator. Around that time, we saw Kyber's hackathon going on, and we decided to participate and build DeFiZap. That's exactly when I met my very first partner in the space, Dipesh, and we just got to work and ended up winning that hackathon. Right after that, Sahil joined our team, and we also joined the Meta Cartel. A really interesting fact to point out is all of us, right, were kind of like built for this work from home situation that's going on right now. None of us have met each other in real life before partnering up. So it just, I guess, goes to show the fact that we're doing this because it makes sense, not because of some kind of uh, move to make quick money somewhere. So yeah, like none of us are VC backed. It's both very organic projects, very community driven. So that's what makes us really happy. So since launching beta for DeFiZap, in terms of Zaps themselves, and I'll let Seb talk about DeFiZap analytics and more on the UI side of things in the presentation right after this one. But Zaps have deployed over 13 million worth of value into DeFi by a little bit over 1,500 unique users via 5,000 Zaps. So we saved end users, ended up saving them close to 400 hours by eliminating over 18,000 extra transactions. So that makes us really kind of proves our initial kind of test that we set out to do, which is kind of bringing, kind of abstracting the complexities of accessing these unique opportunities. So we're really happy to see the community like really find great use cases and like really start experimenting with Zaps. It really became a household name within the community. Uh, we always see people shooting us ideas on Twitter, on Discord, how there should be a Zap for that. So that again, that makes us incredibly humble and just makes us want to keep pushing this further and further. So for users, Zaps are fast to use. Of course, they save you time and they're easy to understand. For builders, they're simple to integrate and they don't add on additional smart contract risk for end users. To go over a really simple example here, something that's really popular is like a Unipool Zap, which basically helps you provide liquidity to a Uniswap pool with a single asset. So what we do is in one transaction, we split up into appropriate portions your input, whether it's ETH or any other ERC20, and add liquidity to the Uniswap pool, whichever one you want to go into, and in return, you're only receiving the LP tokens minted directly from Uniswap. Something we launched earlier today, and for now, this is only available for multi-pooling within Uniswap. Others are the tests are being finalized. But essentially, here you're able to add liquidity to multiple pools at the same time. So this transaction, like I'll show you on the next page here. This is me adding liquidity to 6 pools on Uniswap. So it's the DAI pool, Rep, MKR, Seth, Link, and KNC. And as you can see, there are a lot of things going on here in the background. I put in 1 ETH as my input, and that 1 ETH has been split up according to my allocations that I set up through the Zapper front end. So it's one of the really cool things that we came out with today is we allow you to set the allocations, not just spread up between pools, but also like set exact allocations of how much of your input you'd like to allocate to which pool. So now I guess the most appropriate thing would be to finally go over like how to actually spot these composability opportunities within DeFi. To focus on Uniswap, um, what we have on the Zapper page right now is an analytics page that for now shows you a simple thing like volume liquidity and the volume to liquidity ratio. So this volume to liquidity ratio, what this tells you essentially is how much of the um, fees generated you essentially would be generating provided your liquidity. So what this means, as you might be familiar, liquidity providers on Uniswap, they earn exchange fees every time a swap happens. And that exchange fee is then proportionately split between all the liquidity providers. So depending on how much total liquidity there is in the pool, right? Your proportionally your fees will be dependent on how much your portion of that liquidity is out of that total. So if you have 2 of the same pools, for example, here we have a DAI uni pool with around 8 million liquidity, and say the USDC uni pool with around 5 million in liquidity. They have, I would say, like more or less similar volumes, but the liquidity within the USDC pool is a little bit less. So what this means is that for $1,000 that you deposit to each one of these pools, given the same volume, you'll generate more fees from the USDC pool simply because you are getting a bigger portion of the generated fees. So I hope that's clear. It's something that you really have to watch out for. Of course, for now we just have like 1 day volumes and liquidity, but we're going to add on a lot more analytics to help you make better decisions when it comes to pooling. Yeah, and I guess now I'll go right into FAQs. Really want to make this interactive and see if I can answer any specific questions. Any association with zap.org, I see? No. Yeah, that's totally a different project. I think they deal with oracles. I might be wrong. But yes, not associated with zap.org. Oh, about auditing. So there are two things involved here. So there's zaps and there's zips. The zaps, we don't lock any funds up in our contracts. So we were lucky enough to get a review from one of the people from Ethereum Foundation. It was something they were doing for the community, and we were lucky to have our contracts reviewed. Uh, there was an issue found in terms of um, the ownership of these apps, and someone would be able to basically uh, destroy them so that nobody else uses them going forward. But we fixed up this issue, so very thankful for that review. We're going to be launching zips soon, and that is something that's going through a formal review with the same team that audited the synthetics unipool contract. So yeah. Uh, How different is Zapper to Frontier Wallet? I see. So yeah, it's not. I guess the Frontier Wallet we're integrated with them, so like they're using Zaps to help their end users get instant access to prepackaged the strategies in DeFi. So uh, yeah, it's a mobile experience for Zaps with Frontier Wallet. And competition, yeah, of course. In terms of competition, uh, I think it's might be a bit too early to talk about this, and I know some projects might be focused on that, but I truly believe that we're in a stage in DeFi where we need to be focused on expanding the entire DeFi space, not kind of um, worrying too much at this stage about competition, I believe. I think a lot more projects need to be finding product market fits and just launching MVPs ASAP. I think is the best thing to do is get your product into the hands of end users as soon as possible and try iterating uh, just based on user feedback. Let's see. Hopefully, I'm not missing any questions. Oh, so in terms of custom zaps, yeah, I mean, with multi-pooling, if you will see that feature, I guess, if you guys are still able to see my screen. Yeah, you guys are. So if I click like invest funds, basically from this screen here, as you can see, this would be like serve as a canvas for us to now add on more protocols, right? More DeFi Lego pieces. And here, this is exactly what would be constructing your own Zap. Can't see my screen. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, which are you guys able to see anything right now on my end? I think it should be good now. I see myself moving there. How about right now, Aaron? You can see it, right? Yeah, great. So in this screen, yeah, just exit out from here. So yeah, if you click invest, you know, this is exactly where you're able to smash the different protocols together. So again, like today we launched with just the Uniswap. We are internally testing, finalizing Curve and Balancer. So those will be available very, very soon. Um, can't wait to add on more pieces in here for sure. So yeah, as you can see here, you're able to quickly set up your allocations, uh, add on which pools you'd like to get into. And once you click confirm, oh, connect to my different wallet. Yep. And now this transaction's been sent. To show you the one I sent over earlier with 1 ETH, splitting it between, again, those 6 pools. This is the one. A lot of actions happened in the background. So yeah, I'm extremely excited to uh, keep adding on protocols into this piece right here and like really start some really cool experimentations. And this is what I meant by it making sense coming together with DeFi Snap. The front end, it's something that's been holding us back a lot of times, actually most of the time. So yeah, like this will allow us to move much quicker, and you're gonna see a lot more composability experimentations that we had set in mind really come to fruition much quicker. Going over some questions. Oh, yes. I see this question about the locking up Ethos collateral in Maker DAO. Yes, it's something that I've been wanting to do ever since launching the leveraged liquidity pooling zaps. So with those, we just helped you kind of make up your ETH exposure that you're losing by getting into a pool by getting like a 2x or a 3x position. But right now, especially given the 0% interest fee, stability fee for generating DAI from Maker, a lot of people are taking a risk in essentially locking up their ETH and generating this interest-free DAI loan. So yes, that's something that's really interesting. There's a slight issue with implementing that we ran into, and it goes around like if a Zap opens up that vault and generates DAI, we essentially would need to transfer the ownership to the person who sent the Zap, not the Zap itself. So again, we really wanted to make sure that all the security loopholes are kind of polished up before launching that one. ROIs, yes, I see a question about profits they made on a pool. Uh, right now, we're using pools.fyi, and for now, we just have analytics for volume liquidity and the volume to liquidity ratio, but ROI is something we are going to add on very, very soon. Not just the ROI of the pool itself before you get in, but also your individual ROIs once you have the positions. So yeah, it's also a very, very requested feature to view your ROIs, obviously. And in pooling, it's really complex because the thing with impairment loss, which I don't really personally like the term. I personally prefer opportunity cost, because you know I would have been better off holding ETH, or I would have been better off holding DAI. That sure sounds like opportunity cost. Let's see. Questions. To also kind of give you guys another example for composability, in addition to like the maker loan, so kind of in one transaction generating a loan and then using that DAI to add liquidity to a pool. Another one we're looking into actively is hedged or insured pooling. So essentially buying a option straddle at the same time as you're getting into a pool in order to eliminate impairment loss from both sides. So with our leveraged liquidity pooling, the impairment loss was only limited on the way up, but now with an option straddle, you will be able to eliminate it on both on the way up and on the way down. One thing you're gonna have to keep in mind and watch out for, what you're taking a bet for, is basically the fees that are generated from pooling will beat the premium fee that you're gonna pay for opening up that option straddle.
All right, great. Have we covered all the questions?
I think so. I have been looking in both places.
Okay, perfect. Cool. So what we're going to do is take a very short break, and then we will start at exactly 5 p.m., so 9 minutes. Cool. Thanks so much. It was a really great talk.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Yuki, and thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your kind words all the time, and we look forward to keep pushing the space forward, like I said.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.